The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, probably my favorite Netflix show right now, and I'm excited to dive into this and analyze one of my favorite scenes in this from one of my favorite episodes. I'm telling you right now, spoilers ahead. Let's dive in if you're ready.
What is she doing?
She's dancing.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my theological analysis for The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, Finding the Song of Thra.
I trusted the Skeksis to look after Thra. I took their word.
And their gifts.
So did the Song of Thra just quit singing for Aughra? Let's dive into this and talk about it. Right before we dive into this, do you like these type of videos that I do? Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the very next time I drop one.
Has Thra gone quiet?
No. Thra still sings.
And why do I not hear it?
Did the Song of Thra ever stop for Aughra? This scene actually reminds me very much of sometimes our walk with God, where we just want to hear God, but we feel like we aren't hearing him, and we're wondering, where is he? Has he left me? Has he forsaken me? Has my mistake been that bad that he's no longer listening to me anymore? I mean, look at Aughra. She was Thra. I mean, she was connected to the heart of Thra. She was one with it. Then these beings come down from another planet, and they bewitch her with amazing stories of adventures throughout the universe. They build her planetary thingamabob, and they gift it to her. In exchange, she was to give them the heart of Thra. And she did! But they betrayed her. They abused the heart of Thra. They cracked it. They broke a shard out of it. They darkened it, and now that darkening is spreading. So she made a mistake and trusted the wrong thing. She made a mistake and disconnected from that which she was created to be one with, from that which she was created to be connected to, and she gave it away. So here she has made this massive mistake. She's realizing it, and she's wanting to put things right. But she's asking that question that I think we ask of God a lot. Are you still there? Do you still love me? Are you still listening?
And why do I not hear it?
Because you turned your eye away from Thra towards the stars.
Now she's got to reconnect to it. So it's not that the song abandoned her. It's not that the song left her. The song is still there and in some ways calling out to her. The question is, will she be able to quiet herself to listen once again to the Song of Thra and connect herself to it? So when she realizes what the issue is, she needs to just reconnect, right? So what does she do to try to reconnect? Well, she tries the mystic way. Then she tries the way with those leaves where she puts them in her mouth and spits them in her hand. Sorry, spit stuff just, is disgusting.
No help!
And yet that doesn't work. She tries the incense, the little smoke things as she's dancing around. So she tries the mystic way. She tries the Aughra way. She's trying these ways to try to make Thra sing to her. She's trying to make Thra talk to her. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of cold mechanical religion. I think a lot of times we just confuse God with a computer, and we're not doing that on a conscious level. It's like a subconscious level. But when it comes to God, we forget we're supposed to have a relationship with him and a friendship with him, and instead we look at him as a computer or a vending machine or a genie in a lamp. If we insert the dollar and push the right code, we'll get the candy bar. If we input the right formula into the computer, then we'll get the right answer. If we just rub the lamp 3 times, the genie will finally come out and give us whatever it is that we ask.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
And so we try these formulaic, cold, mechanical ways trying to make God answer us. And in our own minds and hearts, we're probably not thinking we're trying to make him do that. We're not trying to be selfish. Aughra wasn't trying to be selfish. There was a genuine crisis. She was genuinely trying to connect to the Song of Thra.
So Aughra will try mystic way.
But she was trying to make it talk to her. Look, in my marriage, if I treated Laura like a cosmic vending machine or like a computer, or if I import the right formula, I'll get the right answer, she would not like me very much. If Laura, my wife, treated me that way, I would not like her very much. But it's because we're friends, and we're best friends. we love each other and we have a relationship with each other and we're real with each other. You know, my wife and I could go on hikes and we could spend the whole hike not talking and be perfectly comfortable with each other because even in that silence, we just enjoy each other's company. Or we could spend the whole time talking and enjoy every second of it. It's because we're real with each other and we have that friendship and we have that basis. See, that's the answer. It's not that cold mechanical religion. It is that relationship and that friendship. Aughra has to rediscover this. It's like she knew it, but since she was disconnected and trying to connect, she kind of forgot it. So here she is trying all these cold, mechanical, religious ways to reconnect to the song of Thra and hear it.
Stick ways don't work. Aughra ways don't work. Old ways don't work.
But then this little creature comes running up to her, poisoned by the darkening, and dies in her hands. So she drops all pretense, she drops all religion, and just from her heart cries out to the sanctuary tree. And the sanctuary tree answers. And the revelation hits her. Like after it raises that little animal and heals it of the darkening and all that stuff, she just realizes, you were listening this entire time. You were just listening, old friend.
Perhaps that is the lesson.
So she decides to sit down with her friend, Thra. That's what she does. Listen to how she says it.
Instead of making Thra talk, Aughra will simply sit with her friend a while and listen.
Now here's the key, and here's the thing that's hard. In Psalm 27, it says, wait patiently for the Lord. You see, sometimes we do forsake all the religious ways, and we get it right, and then we sit in the quiet. Another psalm says, be still, for I am God. Be still can be hard for us, especially in our world with surround sound and Facebook and Instagram and movies and this and that. It's hard to be still and have that quiet moment because we feel like we gotta fill it. We feel like we gotta keep doing stuff or we're being lazy or we're not doing this right or we're not doing that right. But Aughra, even in her urgent need, decided, no, if I wanna hear, I need to just listen. The tree just listened to me. Now I'm gonna sit down and just be with my friend. And she was patient about it. Sometimes we get impatient and we start moving probably right before the song was just about to sing. Right before we were about to connect and actually hear it, we get up and we get moving because we get so impatient with the silence and the waiting. But Aughra was patient and she sat with her friend. And then slowly her foot begins to tap. Slowly she begins to murmur some words. Before you know it, she's in a full-on dance and suddenly her eye is open and the plan is laid out before her. She was patient and she waited and then she heard the song because she was content to just be with her friend. Honestly, it's a picture of what we need to be like in our relationship with God, how we need to be with Jesus. Because just like I could go on a hike with my wife and us not talk at all, and in that silence, we just enjoy each other's presence and just enjoy being with each other, that's what God wants with us. Not for us to come to him because he's a means to an end, but to come to him for him because he is who he is. And whether he's talking or whether he's silent, just to be there and know that he's there and just kind of rest in that and enjoy his presence and enjoy him for who he is. Just as I'm sure in that silence, he wants to just enjoy our presence and enjoy us for who we are. And it's interesting because then in that silence, suddenly we can start to hear. It reminds me, the prophet Elijah had something like that. He was up on this mountain and God comes in this wind, this mighty wind, but the voice was not in that wind. And then came this earthquake and the voice was not in the mighty earthquake. Then came this mighty fire, but the voice was not in that fire. God's voice came in the whisper. It was a still, small, quiet voice. Why is it always a still, small, quiet voice? If God wants to talk, shouldn't it be loud? Shouldn't it be some splendiferous sign? A whisper requires us to quiet down and then lean in closer. And that's what God wants, is for us to lean in closer to him in that whisper. So to me, when I'm watching this scene, when Aughra is searching for her next step, trying to figure out what the plan is, she knows the truth. The truth is she needs to reconnect to the Song of Thra. Only when she's connected to that song can she know what's happening next. When she tried to force it, when she was religious about it, when she tried to make it talk to her, that mechanical thing and formula didn't work. It took being with her friend and quieting herself down and just being with her friend and being patient and waiting, and then the song filled her heart. God is always talking to us, no matter what mistakes we've made. He said he won't leave us, he won't forsake us, and he says he forgives us and he loves us. His voice is always there and he's always talking. But we can't be discouraged in the silence. Sometimes it's about us just quieting down, dropping the religion and dropping the pretense, and just being content to sit in the silence and just enjoying his presence for who he is. And as we wait patiently, his voice will speak as we listen for that whisper and lean in to hear it and get closer to him.
It's time to make my move.
What did you think of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance and Aughra trying to reconnect to that song? That was one of my absolute favorite scenes in season 1, was when she started dancing and she was so happy to be reconnected to the song. What were some of your favorite scenes from Age of Resistance? Let me know that in the comments and let's talk about it. While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Hit that bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next theological analysis, movie review, ranking video, or anything else I do here. And if you like what I do here, check out my Patreon page. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.